12 months, 21.8 kilograms, 112 centimeters, nausea, constipation, tiredness, sleeveless tops, a new wardrobe, soccer finals, bare legs. What a brilliant 12 months. I'm Alison and I share my personal weight loss wins, results and struggles, and I also encourage others in their own weight loss journeys, as well as mindset and working towards a happier and healthier life. I have hit my 12 months on Wegovy. Stick around as I share before and after pics, my measurements from beginning to end, my start and end weight, and the verdict. Was it worth it? I started my Wegovy journey on the 11th of September 2024, and my starting weight was 86.1 kilos or 190 pounds, and I started on the 0.25 milligrams of Wegovy. This was the heaviest I had ever been, and at my short height of 156 centimeters or 5'1", my BMI was sitting at 35.4, which was considered obese. Add in my waist measurement, which was 109.5 centimeters. It was really clear that I was carrying a lot of excess fat, which put me at a much higher risk for heart attack and stroke. As I'm creeping closer to 50, my health and especially my heart health was really starting to be a worry and a concern to me. My mum and my nan had both had overweight issues, and my nan, God rest her soul, was morbidly obese and she died of a heart attack. My mum is on her own weight loss journey and she is doing really great, which is so good to hear. My dad is super fit and healthy and always has been, but even in his healthy state, he actually had to get stents put into his heart. So it really was becoming quite a concern for me as I was getting older. Other than all of these concerns, I had really worked on being okay with being overweight in my mind and for my mental health. I know it sounds really weird, but I had basically come to the conclusion that I would be overweight or obese, fat, whatever you want to call it, for the rest of my life. I had just come to that realization that that's how it was going to be. So I didn't want to be miserable for my whole life. So I had worked really hard on learning to love myself as I was, regardless of the outside of me and my body. And so that's not to say that I didn't still have meltdowns like most people who have issues with their weight, especially when I was getting ready to go out and you're trying on like 50 outfits to find that one that you don't feel like you're just standing out as the fattest person in the room, which is so horrible. So I still had, challenges, but I had learned to just be okay with how I was and who I was and what I looked like. So I heard about these miracle GLP-1 drugs, medications that you could get. And so I made an appointment and visited my GP, basically pleading my case of just saying, I'm struggling with my weight loss and could I please get some assistance with some medication? Well, unfortunately, I was pretty much shut down, and the GP brought me back to saying about counting calories, what my intake is. And of course, we all know that the intake of calories is the most important thing regarding weight loss, but I had been through that process a gazillion times, and I was really asking for some extra help so that I could improve my health going forward. Through my mum, I learned about a company called Juniper, which is in Australia. And basically, it is a company where you can have consultations with GPs. And in the beginning, you take a survey to understand where you're at with your weight and your body and your health history. And if you're approved, then you can have access to weight loss medication from home. The package also included consultations with, if you wanted to speak to a nutritionist or look at recipes, you had access to coaching. It was more than just a appointment online. Well, actually, it was over the phone with a GP. And so that's what I thought. Well, my local GP isn't going to help me. I really need this help. I really want to make a difference. I don't want to die early. I want to be around for my kids and, maybe in the future grandkids. So I reached out and took the survey and was approved to have access to the weight loss medication. Once approved, the medication was sent directly to my door. So I didn't even have to go anywhere. It just turned up, which was bloody awesome. The only downside that I really felt was the extra cost. Basically, when you're paying your monthly fee, you are paying upfront for the GP consultations, the access to any coaching that you wanted to use, the recipes online, also exercise like movement that was there that you could access through the app. So it was more expensive than just going directly through the GP and getting a script and just paying specifically for the weight loss medication. To give you an idea, the medication in Australia, if you just got it directly through the GP, is approximately 260 Australian dollars, keeping in mind that depending whether you're on Wegovy or Zepbound or tirzepatide, you're going to have different costs there, and especially at different milligrams. But for me, for the Wegovy, that would have been around about $260 a month. Whereas because I was going through an external company and paying for those extra costs, it was working out to be approximately $400 to $450 Australian per month, which is a lot. At the end of the day, it was for my health, and you can't really put a cost on your health if you can afford it. So because I was able to budget for those monthly costs and I was able to do it, I don't regret it for 1 second. Throughout the 12 months, I definitely experienced side effects. There were lots of different ones that came along. In the very beginning, say around that week 1, I did experience a tiny bit of constipation, but then from that point onwards, I was super vigilant and super aware of how often that I was going to the toilet and stayed on top of that one. Weeks 4 till 11, I experienced terrible tiredness. It was actually really bad. It was exhaustion, and it was very difficult when you're trying to just function in your normal life, especially going to work. So that was definitely a big issue for me. And I had to change my injection day to try and move that further away from my work week and bring it closer so that that side effect would hopefully fall more on the weekend, where if I needed to have a lie down and have a rest, I could. So that was definitely a huge one that I remember just feeling like absolute crap because I just wanted to sleep all of the time. 3 weeks into the next step up in medication at 0.5 milligrams, I did start to experience some nausea, but it wasn't really until I stepped up again to the third highest dose for Wegovy, which is the 1 milligram, that I really experienced nausea. The nausea was also getting to that point where you start to hesitate when you are going to go out and do something, because I was worried about being out and feeling so sick. So I did reach out to the GP online through the program that I was using, and they were able to send me a script to take some anti-nausea medication as I needed it, and it was amazing. You would just pop that medication on your tongue if you started to feel nausea, and oh gosh, it was nearly immediate. You would feel better. So I definitely would suggest for anyone out there who is suffering from nausea, especially if it's extreme, don't sit and wait and just think that you have to get through this on your own. Speak to your GP and ask for some help, because I didn't end up having to take too many of those tablets, but I think just knowing that they were there, I had them in my handbag, was so helpful, because if you're out and you have something special on, you do not want to be feeling sick and feeling gross when you could just take one little tablet and it's gone and you feel so much better. So that would be my recommendation with that side effect. From weeks 26 to 52, I basically did not experience any as we would say in inverted commas, side effects anymore. None of those common ones. Of course, there were still, positive side effects around not wanting to drink or wanting to avoid certain fatty or unhealthy foods, but those side effects, like what we were just speaking about, I didn't experience them through those weeks. Although I've always had to keep an eye on my regularity and make sure that I am going to the toilet regularly. And that has been something that is ongoing, and I feel like I have to watch that very closely ongoing. Now let's get to the results, what everyone wants to know. At the beginning, in September 2024, my starting weight was 86.1 kilos, which is 190 pounds. At the 6-month mark, I had reached 75 kilos, which is 165 pounds. And that was a loss of 11.1 kilos at the 6-month mark, which is 24.5 pounds, which was bloody awesome. And please check out my 6-month update video for that one. Now for the 12-month update, my end weight at 12 months was 64.3 kilos, which is 142 pounds. So that was a loss of 21.8 kilos, which for pounds is a loss of 48 pounds. Can you believe it? I cannot be happier. I cannot be more excited, but I need to shush and stop being excited and get into the measurements for you guys as well, which I have. My waist measurement in the beginning was 109.5 centimeters and ended at 77 centimeters. So that was a loss of 32.5 centimeters in my waist, which is unbelievable. Like, that is more than a ruler length. My hips measurement at the start was 123.5 centimeters and ended at 101 centimeters. So that was a loss of 22.5 centimeters. Again, a humongous amount to lose. Next was my arms, and I lost 5 centimeters off each of my arms. Then was my thighs, and I lost 15.5 centimeters off each of my thighs. That is insane amount. I cannot believe 15.5 centimeters. And the last measurement amount that I have, which isn't really a measurement, but is the percentage of body weight that I lost, which is crazy. It's more than 25%. It was 25.32% that I lost of my entire body weight. So a quarter of me, my weight, gone. Thank you, and don't come back. As you are aware, I try really hard to focus on non-scale wins as well. And there have been so many, and I'd love to share a few of them with you. The first one being bare legs. So now I am happy to wear skirts and shorts and dresses and show my legs. Before, I would mostly only really show my legs below the knees, but now I'm more than happy to have my legs out, which is unbelievable. Might need to put some fake tan on there because they're very white, but otherwise I'm happy to have my legs out. Another one, which some people find a bit weird, is that I wear my hair out. So before I lost the weight, I pretty much always wore my hair up. And I know that sounds so weird, but I just felt like my face, when I had my hair down, just couldn't, like, it just made me look too big in the face by having my hair down. Now I pretty much wear my hair down all of the time, and it's not something that I really thought about before losing weight, but it's just happened, and yeah, I feel really comfortable having my hair out now. I can walk a set of stairs without puffing. That is great. And of course, that one's not just related to weight loss, it's also related to increasing, my movement and getting my body moving. But that leads into the next one, which is playing a team sport. I had never played a team sport before. And of course, you don't have to lose weight and be skinny or, not be overweight to play sport. That's 100% not what I'm saying. But I think it was like my confidence was increased, and I just felt like I could move a lot easier when I had lost the weight. So I played my first season of soccer, and we got through to the semi-finals, which was amazing. We finished third on the ladder, and I also am so proud. I got awarded a medal at our presentation, and I was awarded coach's player, and I was awarded a medal. So very, very proud moment there. Another one is a whole new wardrobe. I basically had to replace all of my clothes, which is crazy to think about, replacing pretty much your whole wardrobe. I was able to hold on to some of my t-shirts, which I now wear as nighties, and I have some of my granny undies that are super comfortable that I wear just when I'm at home. Otherwise, I paid a visit to the op shops and was able to get some amazing bargains and some beautiful clothes that I'm able to wear now and fit such smaller sizes. And I also went shopping and bought some new clothes as well. My meltdowns are pretty much gone when I'm going out now. It's more an issue of I have so many things that I want to wear. I don't know what to choose because I feel good in what I'm wearing and I feel comfortable, and it's not, oh gosh, what do I feel not fat in? It's a really big change to not have those sorts of meltdowns before going out, which is really nice. And finally, wearing sleeveless tops. I did wear some sleeveless tops before I lost the weight, but now I just feel super comfortable wearing them and I love them. It's great for summer, and also dresses that are sleeveless as well is great. Of course, it wasn't all smooth sailing, and I think it's really important to tell the other side as well. As we just talked about before, I did experience a tiny bit of constipation. I experienced nausea. I felt tired like I've never felt before. And there are other things that I wanted to mention as well, such as my drinking. As much as I was very happy in the beginning to have a break off having drinks because I just didn't feel like it, now that I have returned to a little bit more of a normal sort of eating and drinking, not the way I used to, it's still a lot smaller, but I do have a few drinks, and I always love having a glass of wine, and especially in winter, a glass of red wine. But I super, super struggle to drink red wine now. And it was one of my favorites. I just really enjoyed the flavors of a red wine, but it's like my palate has changed, and it doesn't seem to matter what type of red wine I try. It just doesn't taste right, and I just don't enjoy it. And that's really disappointing. I know it's such a small thing, and really at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. But it is something that I enjoyed socially, and now I just avoid having a red wine. Also, my tolerance for drinking has been lowered by heaps. So I am very aware when I'm out with friends or family about the volume that I drink. Generally, I still get the really good signals that go, hey, you've had enough. So that's awesome. But even if not, I just have to be a little bit careful, especially if I still do try and have drink a white wine. I still have to be very careful because I will get drunk a lot quicker. But just have to be aware. And it's good that I'm still getting the signals to say you've had enough. But yeah, if I drank too much white wine, it would still I would get drunk quite quick. So I have to be aware of that. Lastly would be the cost. And when I say cost, I mean the monetary cost. As I said before, I don't regret it, but the cost of the medication over the 12 months, once you also add in that I was paying for a program which included extra things, plus my new wardrobe, whether some of it was brand new from the shops, others were from, secondhand shops. It really, when I sat down and worked it out, it would have been in excess of $5,000 across that year. That's 5,000 Australian dollars. I actually think it will be a little bit more, but I wanted to be conservative and try and give you an honest figure. And again, I don't regret it, and I was able to budget for it, but it is a lot of money, a lot of money. So was it worth it? The tiredness, the money, the feeling sick? Hell yes, it was worth it. Would not take it back, not for one bloody second. I feel amazing. It has been the best thing ever. Yes, there's been downs. Yes, there's been times I've had to push through feeling like shit, basically. But it is so damn worth it. Those side effects are real. You don't want to go to work. You don't want to do anything. You just want to crawl up and hop into bed and not see anyone or do anything. But in my personal opinion, from my experience, push through, do whatever you can to get through those horrible side effects and those negatives. As I had mentioned before, if you're going through that, don't go through it alone. Speak to your GP, see if you can get some medication to help with the feeling sick. Try and move your injection day to another day so that side effects hopefully fall when you're not at work. And lastly, don't move up your medication too quickly. So me personally, going from 0.25 to 0.5 to 1 milligram, I took my time. There were times when I took an extra month or two at that lower amount before I moved up. Not only is that going to help you not feel so crappy, it also is going to help your body not get used to the medication too quickly. So take your time. Don't rush. It's not, what do they say? It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. You need to take your time. Remind yourself the why. Most great accomplishments are not achieved without heartache and perseverance and pushing through. So just remind yourself that you've got this, and budget now for a new wardrobe. It really will creep up on you. It will happen. You will lose weight and you won't be able to fit your current wardrobe. I would definitely also recommend taking your time with buying the new clothes. I made the mistake of purchasing a lot of sort of brand new clothes around that 6-month mark when I had lost quite a lot at that point. But then the problem was very quickly they didn't fit me again. So I had spent money on brand new clothes that I really loved and I was unable to wear them and had to give them away as well. Also, if you decided to keep the fact that you're taking medication to yourself or just to a couple of people around you, you need to be prepared. When you start to lose weight, people are going to comment on how you're looking good and they're noticing. So you need to be ready for what you're going to say when they say, how are you doing that? What have you been doing? Especially if you're not comfortable sharing that you're doing it through weight loss medication. Just have a think about and rehearse. I know it sounds weird, but rehearse what you're going to say. It will help you feel so much more comfortable when you do get asked about your weight loss and the fact that you're looking really great. The verdict's in. I feel amazing. I am healthier and I couldn't be happier. I have popped a couple of videos here that I think you'll find interesting as you continue to follow along in how I am doing in my weight loss. Your support and encouragement has been overwhelming. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I look forward to seeing you really soon. Take care.